In Poland, a disturbing trend is gaining momentum. The far right is mobilizing, and its target is clear: immigrants and refugees. This isn't just about protests, it's about paramilitary patrols, political alliances, and a growing climate of hostility. Today we're going to break down what's happening on the ground, who the key players are, and why this is a significant and dangerous development in the heart of Europe. Let's get straight to the point. The first major sign of this new wave of anti-immigrant sentiment emerged in the lead-up to the presidential elections in May of 2025. A demonstration, the first of its kind in Poland to be called solely on the issue of immigration, saw 1,000 people take to the streets of Warsaw. The man behind this protest is a well-known figure in Polish ultranationalist circles, Robert Bąkiewicz. Bąkiewicz is a seasoned organizer known for his role in the annual far-right Independence Day March in Warsaw and for leading the campaign to defend Catholic churches during the women's rights protests back in 2020. This May protest wasn't a fringe event. It drew members from the neo-Nazi Confederation Party, also known as Konfederacja, and the far-right PiS party. Notably, the former education minister, Przemysław Czarnek, was in attendance. A counter-protest of around 200 anti-fascists gathered under the banner, "Immigrants are welcome, Poland is our common home," but the anti-immigrant voice was significantly louder. This was just the beginning. A second, much larger wave of anti-migration marches swept across Poland on the 19th of July. Organized by the Confederation Party under the slogan "Stop Immigration," these protests took place in 80 different towns and cities. The organizers made a bold claim of 100,000 participants, while the police offered a more conservative estimate of 30,000. Either figure represents a worryingly high level of mobilization. The largest of these demonstrations was seen in major cities: Warsaw, Krakow, and Katowice. The Warsaw March in particular revealed the extremist elements involved. The crowd was a mix of PiS and Confederation supporters, alongside football hooligans. The presence of neo-Nazism was overt. Some participants wore white balaclavas emblazoned with Celtic crosses, a common white supremacist symbol. Others sported Combat 18 t-shirts, a violent neo-Nazi organization. Sweatshirts with SS branding and various neo-Nazi flags were also openly displayed. Again, in at least 12 towns and cities, anti-racist groups mobilized to oppose these marches, but they were significantly outnumbered. Beyond street protests, the anti-immigration campaign has taken an even more sinister turn. In March of 2025, Robert Bąkiewicz founded a 7,000-strength paramilitary force called the Border Defense Movement, or Ruch Obrony Granik, which we'll call ROG. ROG organizes what it calls citizens' patrols along Poland's borders. They first emerged on the border with Belarus in the autumn of last year. Since then, they have expanded their operations to patrol Poland's borders with Germany and Lithuania as well. Their tactics are aggressive and intimidating. Earlier this month, a ROG group laid siege to a hostel housing migrant workers in the small town of Żyrardów. This strategy of vigilante action mirrors tactics seen on the US-Mexico border and by far-right groups targeting migrant housing in Britain. Instead of banning this paramilitary group, the Polish government has capitulated to their demands. It has introduced its own controls on the borders with Germany and Lithuania. It is banning asylum claims for those attempting to enter from Belarus and is restricting the number of worker and student visas it issues. The movement is also building international connections. The Searchlight article reveals that Bąkiewicz has held secret meetings with representatives of Hungary's neo-Nazi Our Homeland movement, or Mélzánk Mozgalom. The leader of this Hungarian group is Laszlo Toroszkai, a man who gained notoriety for leading armed paramilitary groups that patrolled Hungary's borders and policed Roma and refugee camps. In Hungary, Toroszkai's vigilantes were eventually hired by local governments as border patrol guards, a process described as the outsourcing of paramilitarism. It appears Bąkiewicz is attempting to replicate this model in Poland. Adding another layer of concern is the support this movement is receiving from influential sections of the Polish Catholic Church. For example, Antoni Długosz, the auxiliary bishop emeritus of Częstochowa, has publicly supported AROD and the anti-immigration movement. He claimed that, for decades, the Islamization of Europe has been progressing through mass immigration and that illegal immigrants create serious problems in the countries they arrive in. What we are witnessing in Poland is the dangerous convergence of a street-level anti-migrant movement, the formation of vigilante paramilitary groups, and the endorsement of these actions by established political figures and sections of the Catholic Church. This combination creates a volatile and threatening environment for refugees and immigrants, and signals a significant escalation of far-right activity in Europe. The developments in Poland are a stark reminder of how quickly anti-immigrant rhetoric can translate into organized, intimidating, and potentially violent action. It is crucial to understand these developments, not just in Poland but across the globe. The tactics and ideologies of the far right are increasingly interconnected. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing for more in-depth analysis on critical global issues. Stay informed and stay engaged.